Black men like you want proximity to whiteness so bad that you guys prioritize the white standard of beauty. And then, in turn, because you're internalized misogyny, you guys put that back on black women.
Sky the Scammer, welcome to the show. And before I start, your name is Scammer, so not sure what type of health benefits you're offering women. But anyway, most of my clientele is black women, so I come on here to help them get in shape because of the health benefits. That's what I get paid for, so that's what I'm going to do. Why is it that when we ask our women and men, but right now we talking about women, to get in shape, that is proximity to whiteness?
Imagine your black guys getting on camera coming up here shucking and jiving for the white man, because that's exactly what you're doing. Perpetuating anti-black stereotypes and utilizing misogynoir and anti-black rhetoric and fat phobia.
This is a flawed mindset, and you're looking at white people like they're above you and they're doing something that you can't do, and you're ultimately setting low standards for black women. Hence the 60% obesity rate.
I don't want you utilizing any medical terms because I don't see MD in your name.
And you don't have to be a doctor to know this stuff. If you have any type of certification in personal training, strength and conditioning, you know what obesity leads to. And women specifically, PCOS, menstrual cycles, pregnancy, it only benefits you to have some type of activity and fitness in your life. A poor diet and inactive lifestyle is going to make those things even worse than what they already are, and some of the things I got to go through. And I'm going to end it with this. Let's look at videos of black women from the 50s, 60s, 70s. There were not 300-pound women there. So we got to stop associating blackness with obesity. And we got to tell our women that there's something they could do about it if they want to change, Any woman who's in my profession is going to tell you the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's coming from a man or a woman. It is what it is. Now, I can show you how many black women I've helped and how many black women's lives I've changed. Would love to see how many black women you've helped get in shape, get healthier, and change their longevity. Please show me. And ladies, don't listen to a woman give you this bullshit message because she's black. Listen to people who actually in the field, putting in work, doing this. And I'm keeping it respectful, and I hope this is the last time I gotta address this, and it is what it is. You know I'm gonna tell the truth, and you know I gotta go. Especially my black women, but one thing about...
Let's acknowledge that a big girl doesn't want you. Also, let's acknowledge the reason why you're always in the gym, because you're looking at the men that are in the gym. Let's all acknowledge that your mother is black, but you sit here and you downplay black women. And also, let's acknowledge that you really want to get bent over. And let's acknowledge don't no man stay in the gym more than the man who's DL. Let's acknowledge that shit.
Viewer discretion is advised. You see, she violated me first, so I could violate her back. There's always somebody with big barbecue cookout arms that get mad at fitness advice. Ladies, it don't matter if the fitness advice is coming from a man or a woman. You can't discredit somebody because they're a man, but you're gonna listen to somebody full of Kool-Aid and fried chicken before you listen to a man who actually helps women in real life. If they never show their full body on Instagram, don't listen to them. If you can't see their neck in the screen, don't listen to them. If their torso can't fit on the iPhone screen, don't listen to them. If they page full of sandwiches, what else we got? French fries, fried chicken, Taco Bell, don't listen to their big ass. Lastly, if their fitness advice is coming for a man's sexuality, trying to call him gay, you absolutely can't listen to him. That's disrespectful to straight men and gay men, and it makes absolutely no sense. If they can't address my point and disprove it with science or some type of fact, don't listen to their big ass. And vice versa, men, y'all can take fitness advice from women as well. Sitting here wondering why we got so many people built like a UPS truck in the United States, black community specifically, black women specifically, and we come up with every excuse, but we don't look at the rejection to actual fitness advice. And that's what we need to look at. Folks got to do better. Get in the gym or shut your big ass up. You know I'm going to tell the truth, and you know.
Most black men who are chasing goals, who are trying to be something, who are trying to stay healthy, who are trying to follow the Most High, who are trying to better their lives and be better people, most of us, if not all of us, will realize at a certain point you are no longer compatible with the majority of black women. I said it. You are no longer psychologically, spiritually, physically, ideology-wise, philosophically compatible with the vast majority of American black women. Tell me I'm lying. Because it's not even in most cases, it's not even an attraction thing. Because I still find them very attractive. A lot of them, when they're in their right mind and they're not, covered up and wearing all this clownery, a lot of them are very attractive. But we can't lie about that, right? You can't deny the fact that they're still fine, right? We grew up loving them. We grew up being attracted to them. And then it was a point where it was a divide in the road. When you were a young boy, it's like the scripture that says, when you was a child, you put away when you became a man, you put away childish things. When I was younger, that was all fine and dandy. And then there was a point when it's when brothers start to mature and their approach to life changes. They put away all the things that they did when they were younger, all the street stuff and all of the things that were poison to you, mentally and physically, spiritually, and then the road just divided. And you kept progressing in life, you kept building, you kept trying to be better, you kept trying to, excel, and you looking in your rear view and you getting further and further away from them. And a big deal right now, especially on social media, is this health epidemic, right? And what I see is a lot more brothers are taking the time to eat right, to work out, to try to keep their temple in order. They're doing a lot less of the things. And what we're seeing is now the disparity between most black women and black men health-wise, right? I made a video a while back that was talking about the spiritual divide, like now it's becoming almost like they are becoming bigger, less healthier, and they're proud of it. And they're using every kind of excuse or cope to overlook the fact. And I found a brother on Instagram that does a lot of this. He literally gets arguments from them saying that black men, I'll try to find it, black men who try to go to the gym and try to work out, they're secretly homosexual. Like, you see how crazy that sounds? Like, any man that want to be in the gym that much must like men. This is literally what she's saying. To argue a guy that's literally trying to give and actually trains black women to get healthy. And the ones that are big and obese, these are their responses to him online. And it's like so devoid of any truth and logic. And then there was another one where a lady was saying, oh, you just trying to live up to the white man's beauty standards and all of this, and you basically tap dancing because you want to look like this, but you're not realizing that, like, it's almost like she's saying that you should want this because this is your culture. You trying to be healthy, oh, look at you trying to be white. Like, whoa. It's almost unreal to hear it. Like, you can't believe it. Like, wow, they really think like there's some of them that really think like this. And they feel attacked, right? They feel attacked when you are giving them any type of like guidance in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And it comes to a point when a lot of brothers, they just throw their hands up. They throw their hands up. They accept it. You know, the life of a black man in 2026 is a life of, when you wake up and you start to connect the dots, it's so many dark things that you have to accept. It's so many uncomfortable truths about your present life and your past that you have to accept and walk away from. You literally have to walk away from it. You know? And that was something that was real jarring to me. Like, to hear them say that and with malicious overtones and real anger in their heart. Like, how dare you? Like, wow. All he wants to do is for y'all to get healthy and go to the gym and work out and lose weight, and not even to be like, oh, we want you to be smaller because we find that more attractive. No, like, for yourself, so you can live. Like, it really blows my mind, man. And for the fact that even to the extreme that brothers are literally leaving the country to go seek black women from other places with the hopes that they can find someone who at least meets them mentally in the same arena, and it's going in the same direction. That's really all brothers are doing. When these brothers are traveling and they're going to these other countries, they're really just doing that so that they can hope to meet a woman that has the same trajectory in the different facets I mentioned earlier, psychologically, mentally, physically, and health-wise, and spiritually, all these different realms of existence, that they can find someone that is at least going in the same trajectory, right? Same trajectory. That's all most men want. So that when he's on his path and he meets you, that you're not pulling him in a completely opposite direction, or he's literally dragging you along because your polarity is pulling you another direction, and he has to fight to bring you the way he's going. Right? That's all brothers want. They want somebody that they can literally walk the same path with, the same trajectory with, and have the same mentality. She might not be on everything you want, but she's following the rhythm, right? She's following the rhythm, and over time she's catching up and she's keeping up, and now y'all got like a nice pace going where y'all both going in the same direction. That's literally the whole gist of it. How are you a brother that's going to the gym 3-4 times a week? You're literally trying to eat right. You're literally trying to do all of these things physically to keep yourself alive. And then you got your counterpart who's eating Popeyes, and they're doing mukbangs, and they're eating 4 or 5 cheese, and they're literally eating in the biblical sense of gluttony. Like, they're moving in a world where there's no limitation, no moderation, in no shape, form, or fashion, right? You know how many brothers I know that are like eating once a day? You know what I mean? Eating once a day. They're working out, they're walking, they're doing all the shit, boxing, Muay Thai, all type of stuff. And these are brothers well into their 40s, some of them even in their 50s, that really take their health serious, right? They take their health serious. They might do their occasional drinking or whatever the case may be, but for the most part, every other day of the week, they're in the gym, they're eating right, they're taking care of themselves, and it's like, they're trying. And I'm talking about here in Brazil. These men are finding black women, but because they can find the ones that also go to the gym and they also take care of themselves, right? Like, what kind of life is that? What type of polar opposite toxic relationship could you possibly want to be in with someone when you're trying to be healthy? And even though you might slip and you might have your moments, but you got the drive to like keep going. Even when you slip, you keep going. And you keep pushing, and you keep trying to eat right, and you keep trying to build that momentum so that you can keep going and keep doing it. And then you got somebody who just doesn't do it at all. Literally doesn't care. You understand? I literally can't remember the last time I had a piece of fried chicken. I can't even remember. Like, you understand? A slice of pizza. Like, certain things, it's not even a thought to want to eat. And you're talking to a guy who, before I came to Brazil, I was right before, when I was driving the truck, I got to about like 275, 280. This is truth. And then I started to tighten up on a lot of things, and now I'm pushing like 238 to 237. So that's almost 40 some pounds. You understand? And still trying to get down to like 220, 215. Like my weight when I was like playing basketball, like 220, 215. And I could probably get smaller than that. You understand? And this is something that I've always, like, despite having more disciplined times and less disciplined times, that I always try to stay on track with certain things that are like non-negotiable, right? So I've dated women here and abroad, even here, that it's even complicated. Like when you might not be a fitness guru or an Adonis, but you're on the path of wanting to do it. Just the complication of dealing with a woman that doesn't abide by that at all. As much as the average woman wants to eat out, as much as they want to just eat and just for pleasure. You know what I had for dinner last night? I'll tell you brothers what I had for dinner. Last night for dinner, I made cabbage, and I had ground beef in the cabbage. And then I had tomatoes sliced up. I might put a picture of it. And then I had avocados. That was my only meal of the day. And the rest was like vitamins and, protein shakes, stuff like that. But as far as like a meal, that was it. So, and I know I should eat more, right? But I'm really kind of trying to cut weight. So I'm not really, I'm supplementing things with more protein, more natural food. And I know that I can sneak another meal in there, right? And usually, if I do get hungry, I'll do something like, I'll just do like maybe some little sardines or something, and like some tomatoes or eggs, or just eat some eggs. I don't even really like eggs, but I choose to just eat because I know it's protein, right? Or I'll make like some steak or some chicken and just vegetables. Like I try to avoid the rice, and I try to avoid the bread and all the pastas and all of that. So, and a lot of you brothers can understand that. Y'all know what that is, right? So that constant battle, that constant journey of trying to do the right thing every day, one step, one foot in front of the other. How can you be compatible with somebody who has no problem eating out 3-4 times a week and eating all the processed foods and the corn oil and all the nonsense and fried this and fried that? You understand? A lot of the things culturally that black men have been subjected to are things that black women have upheld as far as dietary things, right? With the soul food and all of this nonsense. And now with the new culture, it's this pseudo luxury, luxurious lifestyle. This fake. I gotta eat this fancy restaurant life all the time. Ordering out and eating all this crazy stuff. Like, that's the average disciplined guy doesn't live like that. He doesn't want to live like that. He doesn't care for having to eat out all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessary. Like that's a serious waste of money most of the time, especially if you're living in the States. Me is not so bad because it's not as expensive, but still it's like, Brazilian food is their culinary type of food. It's like a lot of it is like, I can do without it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, steak is good, of course, but it's a lot of starch, it's a lot of extra carbs, it's a lot of just nonsensical extra smothered cheese all over shit. Like, I can't get with it. That ain't my type of food. I'm cool. You know what I mean? If I do eat something, I like to go to like ramen restaurants and stuff like that. Something light, nothing crazy. Like, I can't eat a lot of that Their food culturally, for anybody that's been here, you know, it's very rich. You might have a plate of meat, a protein, and have like French fries and rice on one plate, and maybe some beans. And you will see Brazilian guys, you know, I'll go out to run errands and I'll walk past like these little corner restaurants called like they're like corner, I forgot what they're called, not botecos, but it's like just a corner restaurant. It's not nothing super fancy. It's just a place where you could get something real quick, and they might have a buffet there, you know, but most times you'll walk by and you'll see like these dudes will be coming from work on their break, and they got this heavy ass meal of rice and beans and French fries and then steak or chicken and then a beer, you know. And I know a lot of it is because they try to make the food extra filling so that it lasts. You know, in certain countries where it's like the money isn't flowing crazy like that, they try to get the most out of their meal. So they're gonna make the meal heavy so that you can eat and be good for a long time. You know what I mean? So that's really what it is. But me personally, that's just like not how I like to eat. So you got to think, you know, a lot of women culturally, they feel like that fake luxury lifestyle that includes, you know, spending money to, you know, you hear girls, oh, I want to go to Ruth Chris and all these crazy restaurants. It's like, all right, cool. But here's another thing. Remember that video? It was on Instagram or whatever, and it was a girl that was on a date with a dude, and she was like eating like pasta and lobster and shit, but she was eating it like a straight beast, right? Killing it. And that's that life of like excess, like having more than what you need and scarfing it all down is like, that is a mentality of a lot of them when it comes to diet, right? And then a lot of brothers, they're fasting. You know, I only eat like in a certain bracket of the day, you know, like early afternoon to like probably 5-6 is like meal time, and I don't even eat nothing crazy, you know what I mean? But all of that other stuff is like, that's really how they conceive it. Like I gotta go to Starbucks to get a frappuccino and some bullshit, and then at 12 I gotta eat some more shit, and I'm gonna go to fucking Chick-fil-A and get a nuggets and a fry and some shit, and then after that they're gonna snack on something, right? And then after that they still gonna eat dinner. They might eat a whole plate of, you know, pasta with Alfredo. They love Alfredo pasta for some reason. Chicken, they love that. Like me, if I eat pasta now, my stomach would turn, you know, because it's so heavy and so dense, right? And there's really no nutrition in it. Maybe chicken, if you put chicken in it, but really for the most part, you know, crab boils and lobster boils. That's just like, you know, you see those people and they put a big giant bucket of lobster and shrimp and all of these bottom feeder creatures, and they just scarf it down with gloves on. Like I never was into that, right? But what I'm really discussing is like, in a lot of ways, the incompatibility between black men and black women, it goes far beyond just a lack of attraction. It's so many more factors that get glossed over. They get overlooked, and they just say you don't like your mother, or you're a self-hater, or you're a colorist, or right? They'll tell you all of these things, but it's really love, you know, we're just not compatible. Just think about this. Just the normality of a black man going between his 20s to his 30s, and, you know, being disciplined enough and responsible enough to not have a kid before he's ready, right? To not have a kid. That alone creates an infinite wall of incompatibility right there, right? Because now we're at a point where they think you're sassy because you don't, or something's wrong with you. because you didn't have a child with some random woman. That's how twisted the game is. That's how fucked up the game is. It goes deeper than that. The journey of a man is a constant influx, it's a constant ebb and flow of growth, breaking down, and then rebuilding, right? Losing things and getting them back stronger. If you're a man, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's certain parts of you that when you were younger that would be unrecognizable to the version of you now as a man, as far as your disciplines, as far as how you operate. And a lot of times in that chase for that version of yourself that you're seeking, that isolation is going to pull you out of the dating market altogether, right? Because it doesn't even match the frequency that you exist in. You don't even match that frequency anymore because you've been so locked into a certain life, whether it's working hard or building a business or, you know, taking care of your body or whatever you got going on, getting closer to the Most High. All of these things are partnered with isolation. It's no escaping it. Whenever a man breaks himself down and rebuilds himself up or pursues a better version of himself, it is literally walking hand in hand with isolation to some form or degree. If you are a person getting in shape or you're trying to get in shape, you know that you can't be around certain people, you can't go certain places because you can't eat certain things. You're not trying to drink, you're not trying to do this, you're not trying to do that. You're trying to have a very strict routine. You're going to be eating the same foods every day or close to the same foods every day. So that's going to isolate you. If you're on a spiritual journey, we already know how deep that is when it comes to the isolation of that, right? You might, man, I done been in a situation where like I was pulling myself away from girlfriends and shit because I was on that journey, and I just let them go because they didn't match that frequency that I was on, and they were often pushing back against it. They were questioning me, like, you know what I'm saying? So that in and of itself is a reason why that isolation becomes important. When you're trying to make more money or you're trying to build something that didn't exist before, it takes isolation. You can't be out there in the dating world. You can't be running after every girl when you're trying to put something together. It just doesn't work. If you fell off and your money was toast, you know what I'm saying? You was out on your ass cheeks, cooked, right? And then you got back on and you started to build your life back up. No man of the sane mind is trying to date during that time period. No way. Because all you can think about is putting your life back together. That's literally all you can focus on. That's all that you even want to think about when you hurt and you get back on. When you have and then you lose everything. There's nothing like that. If you was in shape and then something happened or you got hurt or you got sick and then you lost everything, you gained weight. Only thing you want to do is get back to where you were, because being someplace great in your life and having everything you want and then losing it, there's no greater motivator for a man. I don't care what nobody says. And once you get into that zone, there's no pulling you out of it. And once that becomes a frame of mind, a lifestyle, when you've been chasing money or chasing something and it becomes a lifestyle, or your health becomes a lifestyle, or your pursuit of the Most High becomes a lifestyle, how are you going to invite somebody into your world that doesn't fit or is not compatible with that? Because most brothers at this point have come to the conclusion that they're on their own out here. Outside of voices like me and other brothers online or their close day ones that they still compatible with, most brothers realize that they're in this game by themselves. They're on the court one-on-one. You understand? You're playing against everybody and you have no teammates. Other than, like I said, a choice few people, if you're lucky to even have that. right? That camaraderie, it comes from very intimate places of people that you've known for decades and decades now. As you get older, the people that you hold value to as men or comrades are people that have been there for decades and decades. And you'll be lucky and you're very blessed if you meet somebody new that falls right into play and y'all got so much in common that y'all could build and keep kicking it together, and y'all just meeting each other, right? That's a blessing too. But at the same time, when it comes to dealing with women have such a way of bleeding into your world. Like you become like, it's like some type of osmosis where you and a woman start to blend together. And it's very crucial that when you meet in a woman that is a proper chemical bond between you two, that when she doesn't connect to you, that she isn't taking you out of this magical zone that you've been in, right? Because the longer you can keep that momentum, the better it gets, the easier it gets, the more you get to add on and keep adding on. And it's a beautiful, beautiful way to exist. And a lot of brothers know that zone. Some of you are in that zone right now. Some of you trying to get back to that place. That's why a lot of brothers choose to just be solo, because they can turn it off and turn it on at the will that they want, and they can just keep going with nobody saying, you working too much, where you at, you going to the gym again, we can't go out to eat tonight, you don't want to mess around and get nasty with me, you've been reading the Bible, you understand? You don't want to have those distractions. And usually nowadays, especially with modern women in the States, that is usually what you're up against. Somebody who is completely contrary to everything that you stand for, even politically. You understand? Their ideologies are backwards. They believe in all that goofy nonsense that they be talking about on TV, while you are vehemently against it. So it's like the compatibility between the thinking man of the future and the modern woman of all races. It's a hindrance. Men of all colors and creeds, not just black men of all colors and creeds who operate like this, dealing with a futurist thinking mentality, are going to have a problem dealing with a modern woman. See, when you're talking about a man who's a thinking man, he's a futurist. He's thinking in the long run. A woman that is in a modern world right now, she's in the past. She's outdated firmware. So when you're dealing with a modern woman who thinks like right now, the world right now, she is a direct reflection of the world that we despise right now, and you're thinking of the futurist mindset of the world that you're trying to create for yourself in the future, she is operating on outdated firmware. You are constantly updating with new thoughts, new ideas, new things to keep you driven and motivation and aspirations, things that inspire you spiritually, mentally, physically, all of that stuff. You're moving into a whole different dimension. You're like in a Blade Runner world right now, some cyberpunk shit. And she's still on a horse and carriage mentally. That's the difference. That's the incompatibility issue that they don't want to ever talk about or ever have a conversation about, because it shows inferiority and they don't want to accept that. And when I'm talking about brothers, I'm telling you that a lot of brothers are starting to aspire in a direction that they've been telling the world that we've been incapable of being or never was. They've been screaming at the mountaintops that you were this and you were that. And then now they see you starting to prove them wrong. And all of that disrespect and all of that animosity is turning into motivation for a lot of brothers, and it's turning them into literally walking gods with a small G, not the God, but they're moving like something from another realm. They're like the first. It's like a version of black men is being created now that never existed before. And I'm talking about the brothers who don't ascribe to none of that thuggery and street nonsense and all that corny shit. I'm talking about the brothers who are moving in that whole different direction. And you're showing the world that, and people are seeing that. And now when they go to the mountaintops and scream, because the numbers are growing more and more, it's more and more brothers that are moving like that and moving righteously and moving in a certain way that the rest of the world sees that. They see you in other countries, they see you out and about, they see you operating, they see you in these business worlds, they see you in the corporate world, they see you doing your thing and grinding, and then they see that, and they see you brothers in the gym getting in shape, and then they look at them and they hear them talking, and everybody's starting to realize slowly that it's like, nah, I think it was y'all all along. Because your life is the results of your decisions. And when you see brothers continuously improve and get better, and you see them kind of stuck in this same loop, this hamster wheel of the same excuses and victimhood, and then you see the obesity rates and the STDs and the single motherhood and all of that nonsense, and you see that and other people see it too, they start to realize like, nah, we need to focus on y'all. And that's why the world seems to just have this microscope on them now, because everybody's starting to connect the dots, not just black men. So don't be so hard on yourself, and don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like something wrong with you, or you inadequate or inept or anything like that. Just know that she's dealing with outdated software. You're dealing with futuristic, something is being currently created, and a lot of brothers are moving in that direction, and they're starting to see it with the help of each other. A lot of brothers are telling other brothers the game, and they're starting to wake them up, and it's starting to become this silent movement. It's not loud, it's not crazy, it's just brothers are starting to act on it. They're not just talking anymore. Brothers are starting to get in shape. They're starting to get their money up. They're starting to do these things. And because a lot of these brothers are choosing that isolated path to do so, they're not saying nothing. They're not talking about it. They're not bragging about it. So these women assume these dudes don't exist because they don't see them nowhere. They don't see them at the clubs and the parties and all that showing out. Nah, these dudes is locked in, head down, hoodie on, and they making it happen. And they're not worrying about that. So they think you don't exist. They only can see the dudes that's within their parameters, and those are the dudes that they constantly are using as a litmus to push out to the world to say, look at how they act, look at how they are, look at them, and then realizing, no, those are the only the dudes that are in your proximity, because the rest of the men that are really about something, you don't even interact with them no more. You understand? Those guys got outdated firmware as well. And that's the thing. So always keep that in mind. It's your brother Ghost. I just want to get some and kick some for you. I know a lot of times my videos can be a little lighthearted and they could get a little deep and all of that. And I know brothers have ideas about when they come to this channel or hear my voice, what to expect. Just know that it's just a more versatile, like I said, Patreon, all of that stuff. There's a lot more consistently deeper conversations, because here, you have to kind of watch your mouth and stuff. You know what I mean? And a lot of the editing and stuff like that, guys are like, oh, you see you playing video games and stuff like that. And it's like I said, I always gotta say, I'm not playing the video games while I'm talking to you, right? I'm just recording the footage of the games that I play so that there's something on the screen, and that it's something that you can see, because when I use the anime like I used to, I get the video flagged and then get copyrights, and it's a whole headache now. YouTube is a lot different from before. So now I can't really use a lot of the elements I used to use. So these videos on YouTube are a little more bare bone and stripped down. So when you want something a little more complex, a little more, bells and whistles, I got to do that on Patreon, because that's where I can do whatever I want. And it don't matter what music I use, what clips I use, I can do whatever I want. So it's just a different realm. And come on, man, I've been doing this, almost 10 years? There's so many different versions of me out there. Like you can get whatever you want. You just got to know where to look, right? So anyway, I'll leave all those links in the description, man. Thank you for anybody who supported my music and anything like that. I love it. Thank you so much. It definitely makes me feel good that people still got an ear for good music, and they appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Anybody who supported, bought a CD or vinyl or whatever. Definitely love all the Patreon supporters. Is love to y'all as well. Thank y'all so much for y'all's continued support throughout the years. It's become a little community, man, where a lot of the guys they've been there for years, and we have conversation all the time in the comments, and it's just like a consistent thing. Everybody that's joined on the YouTube channel, who's joined the old YouTube channel and came there from here, everybody that's just new to this and they enjoyed it and hit the subscribe button, much respect to you, man. Much love. And we're going to keep this going. I know it's been about a week and some change or something like that since the last video. I just wanted to drop something for you guys. I just dropped a new video, 2 new videos on Patreon this week, and go check those out if you want. I'll leave the link in the description. Y'all brothers be blessed, keep walking in faith, and always cover your 6. This is TMT Ghost. I'm out. Peace.